That's that right there. Look at that. What are those? What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Project Hellcat continues, boys. Today we're going to be working on the coolant fan. As you guys all know, these Hellcats, the newer ones I should say, about 16 and up, have this pulse width modulated signal that comes from the ECU, and it really doesn't work off just power and ground like your traditional fan, or even that, a fan relay. So we got to get down to the nitty-gritty today and get this thing to work with what we got, which is the stock Hellcat fan. But we're gonna have to depin the ECU and then move the pin over and all this jazz. I'll show you guys here in a little bit. Not to mention, we're gonna have to hook up the connector on the fan side as well. I got the part number for that as well, you guys. So make sure you guys check out the description down below for those. But let's get started. All right, y'all. We are here where the ECU's at, but look at this nonsense, boys. You guys are so lucky that you guys get to see these videos prior to this, because I'm jealous of you guys, man. Because look, this is all stuff that we're figuring out along the way, and if you guys are doing this prior to even having the computer in the car already, you don't have to deal with this nonsense of having stuff already installed in the way and all that. You guys can do all this stuff prior to the install. So this is stuff I wish I had information prior to that. So we're gonna cut this back and see where we're at with this, but I think I'm gonna remove this cap here so we can get to these pins so we can pin out that wire. I've already removed the zip tie that's there. All right, boys, so from factory, what we're gonna end up trying to do is that we're gonna try to utilize the pin that's already there for the fan relay, but we're basically gonna steal it and repurpose it, because to try to find a pin might be a little harder. So we're gonna see if we can take the one that's here, and the one that's here should be a pin 78. So 90, 96 is over here, so 73 is over here. So 78 would be, let's see, 8. So it'd be this dark brown blue. And what you could do is you can verify that with the paperwork that came with your Hellcat kit. And it does say fan relay on there, boys. Look at that. Man, that's pretty good. It's pretty impressive there, Dodge. So it's a brown light blue. I decided to cheat a little bit. I should say I probably used my head more than anything, right? This is the old harness that actually came on that car from the wreck car, and it's not in the best shape, but it's still usable as far as certain components, like that connector that we're working on inside the car. I said, why sit there trying to fight the harness that's already in the car to reuse one of its pins? And that was that pin that we were going to use that actually set up for the fan relay. You guys can still use that. I definitely advise you guys use that, just because it'll be easier for you if the harness is out of the car. In my case, it's not. So what I did with this is all I did is you just take off that little guy here. Obviously you take the back piece off, and then you work this guy. You just take a flathead screwdriver and work it on the sides, work it off, pop this thing off. And I use these little guys here, these little kind of tools. Dude, these are like 20 bucks. I made a video a while ago on this on these tools, and it really helps you remove pins and stuff. Like, you can probably use a paper clip or something like that. But literally all I did is I actually already took one out right here. Look, I took this one out just to make sure I was doing it correctly. But I already took that lead out, and you guys can see it already has that terminal on there. So all we'll do, we'll splice another piece of wire on that and run that wire up to that fan. But so all you have to do is, let's pick the second wire. It don't matter. We can pick this one here. This one's closest to us, or closest to the edge. you just stick, like I said, any kind of sharp little paper clip or something right on top of that pin and stick it in there just like that. Look at that, boys. Came right out, and now you can take that. Like I said, this is actually that same color wire that was in the other harness. But like I said, you can take it, cut it wherever you need to, and just make basically a pigtail. And that's what I end up doing here. So I'll splice another piece of wire, and so that way it'll run all the way up to the front of the car, and we'll kind of run it alongside of the harness. There's no way I'm going to try to lace that back in to that factory harness. There's no freaking way, especially when it's in the car. So, but you guys are lucky enough to do it outside the car. Lucky you. But like I said, look into something like this. I'll try to link the video that I talk about these down in the description below. But just like that, boys, I'm glad that we kept this one around, because now we don't have to go find these terminals. If you guys, anybody know where to get them, be my guest. Put it down in the comments below. But now let me extend this real quick, and then I'll meet you guys back in the car. Don't you love it when a plan doesn't come together? Oh my God, boys, I am dying in this heat, boys. Look at this. So much for trying to be smart and cute, and yeah, that did not work, boys. It did not go according to plan. Remember, I was trying to tell you how we went and tried to take that other harness apart. Well, the problem is, and I think it's pretty silly, but the harness we took apart over there was the engine side, right? Not, well, let me scratch that. I believe it's the other connector. It was this color connector. They're different. Apparently they're different. They're two different color connectors, and the one we took apart, which is this guy here, came out of something like that from the other harness, and this is the body side. I don't know, and it is not happening because I went to try to put that one in, the one we took out of that harness, guys, and it did not work. I couldn't get it in. It couldn't get, like, something was holding it up. Like, it seems like it's the right one, and it was not happening. So what I ended up doing is use my little removal tool to remove the pins out, right? I actually took the original one that we were going to take out, which is that original fan relay one, the one that was in pin 76. No, sorry, 78. It was actually in pin 78, and took that one out, looked at it, and it's actually very, very slightly different. Like, not even to the naked eye you can tell, but it was different. So what I ended up doing is just taking that one and putting it in place in pin 82 like we're supposed to. Put it in pin 82 and it slid right in. So it must be a different pin, boys. So it's not going to work. So we just ended up doing what you guys are probably going to end up doing at home. Using pin 82, you're using that fan relay, and it slid right in. Now what we have to do, we have two options. We can either just cut it back right here, maybe about, I don't know, 6 inches up, cut it there and splice it to the connector we made, or try to intercept it at the module. Because what's happening is this actually goes back to that fuse box from MOPAR, and then it turns into that other wire there. So I'm gonna go look real quick. If it's easy enough, we'll do that, but if not, I'm just gonna end up cutting it here and running a new wire. We should have just did this in the first place. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I envy you guys. You guys get to learn from my mistakes. You guys ain't got to put up with all this jazz. But look at this, boys. It is all the way up front, boys. We found it. It is coming off this connector right here. That we're actually using for a fuse box, because what it does, this was set up for like a relay, like an old school style fan relay, not with the pulse width modulation. So what's doing, it was controlling it just power relay output, that was it, versus the pulse. So we're trying to utilize the stock fan to do that. So we're gonna have to take this wire. This is the wire that we just pinned out over there. So in order to confirm this, boys, I obviously depinned it from the connector, took it out of there kind of the same way, boys, same way, just sticking that little pry pin in there and freeing it loose. So we're going to take that black lead hook it up there, and then we're gonna run it to the inside of the cab so we can do a continuity test to make sure we have the right wire. So in theory, that should be the same wire, even though we know it's labeled the exact same thing, it's colored the exact same way. In theory, it should be correct. Now, in order to make sure, we're gonna go to our ohm setting and perform a continuity test. Obviously, you're gonna need a multimeter for this. Let's see. Oh no, it looks like we don't have this set up properly here. Come back here, connect these two here, make sure we're on ohms. You hear that? That means continuity, right? That means it's coming back and it's the exact same connection point, connecting point meaning the same wire. So that's what we're gonna do. Is now we have our leads here that we draped over. We're using that black one, right? So we're just gonna go ahead and hook this guy up here. And in theory, if we touch this other end of the wire here, this guy here, it should beep, and that means we have the correct wire. So I want to say it's this guy. Look at that, boys. Yeah. How you like me now? We definitely should have done this from the get-go instead of trying to make a jumper and trying to take one out of the old harness and all that. This was 10 times easier. So all we got left is actually to add power and ground on that fan. We are finally at the engine bay side here. Now, remember what we were talking about with the depinning and all that, and we found the connector up front. Now, there's your bad boy right there. We got her depinned. Now, we are gonna have to extend that wire there because that's the one from the ECU that's gonna send that signal to this fan to talk to it and get this thing turned on and off. So we'll end up probably cutting that guy off there and then extending that wire and putting it on to this bad boy right here. This is the connector that we're going to end up using for this guy right there. Now, if you guys' fan connector looks a little bit like this should only be a 3-pin connector. So you should have power, ground, and then that signal from the ECU there. Now, this is a single fan setup. If you have a dual fan setup and it has a similar plug, it should work the same. Now, believe it or not, it's crazy. This thing is a forward connector. It's so crazy. I found it online there with the guys in the Hellcat swap page. Appreciate you guys there. That's that right there. Look at that. What are those? I don't get it either, but it works, guys. It fits right in. So you guys can see, clicks, bam, boom. We do have an extra pigtail that we're not going to end up using. So you guys can do is just trim it down a little bit and tape it into your guys's harness there. But we're going to end up using power, ground, and then obviously the signal. So if you look at the back of it, so you got ground to my left. Yeah, let's see here, and then the power down at the bottom, and then obviously the white wire. If you guys can see, the white wire down there is the signal. So power is going to be this bad boy right there, and no, I'm sorry, ground is going to be this guy here, power, and then signal, right? And that's the one we got. And look, actually, I might even reach, guys, considering it's right there. Let's see if that's sitting there, it might work. And then find you guys a nice ground. We got a nice grounding post right there. We'll probably just go to there, which is even better because we don't have the extend. And then power. Now the power is going to be a little bit more involved, not much, but you're going to need this bad boy right here, something like this. You're going to need something like this in line in between the power and the fan to basically protect the circuit. So we got this circuit breaker right here. This should go up all the way up to 60 amp. We're probably going to end up running like a 50 amp fuse in there. You use one of those big boy fuses in there. 50 amp fuse will probably run in there. This is also a 10 gauge wire, boys. You definitely can't use anything smaller than 10 gauge. You can go bigger, but don't go anything smaller than 10 gauge. That's the requirement. Minimum requirement's 10 gauge. I got some extra there just in case we need to extend anything. You're gonna need a connector for wherever you're hooking up your battery to. Our battery posts are kind of all right here, so we're just gonna end up going to this guy here where we have our supercharger pump. Let's go ahead and get started and start making this pigtail for this fan. Not too shabby, boys, not too shabby. We are installed and ready to go. I would say this is definitely my biggest fan, but it is all done up and I'm happy with it. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm happy with it. It's not like super, I don't know, you can say like how I would really want it wire management wise, but guess what? What this does, keeping the wires short, utilizing one connection point, really eliminates the issues down the road and helps us get power and ground correctly to that fan to make sure that thing works properly. Not to mention, I'm really big into building these cars and being able to work on them. Like when I actually, believe it or not, when I did my LS swap LSX on the Frankenstein, I wish I would have done it a little bit better. And it just does. And what that happens obviously with time, as you do more and more builds, you get better and better. But the issue that I like to try to prevent down the road is, let's say the next guy, whoever ends up owning this car down the road, and he goes and he burns the motor out, he blows it up, whatever he does to it, and I have to pull the motor out, service it, whatever, service anything, the radiator. I really take consideration as far as servicing these vehicles, man. Like a lot of people don't do that, and like they do these crazy custom builds, and they're gorgeous, don't get me wrong, but what ends up happening is that you can't get to anything. You can't get to anything, you can't work on anything because everything's so tucked and in the back, and you have to take 20 panels to get to this one wire or this fuse box or whatever it is, and it becomes a hassle. So I really like to try to make it serviceable and neat as possible. So that's kind of what I like to shoot for. But boys, tell me what you guys think. It is in, ready to go. Like I said, you can service the power, you can access all this stuff if you need to get to it. We just got to add their little fuse guy here. I need to go get one. I need to add that, but it is in and ready to go. We still have to unlock it in the ECU, so you got to unlock it in the ECU. Sorry boys, I had to come over here and grab a drink of water because it's hot. But like I was saying, we got to unlock it in the ECU. And look at my notes here, it's pin 82. Pin 82, you have to unlock the fan setup in that pin 82. That was the pin that we moved over. So pin 82, and you have to actually put the function to linear function in order for that to work on the body side connector. So remember that, guys, before you go and drive this thing, and make sure HB tuners, it's unlocked in there. But guys, tell me what you guys think about this video. I hope this information helps anybody else out there doing it. We will surely find out here soon enough, make sure everything's working. I wish I could show you guys right now, but obviously we are not complete. We're not there yet, but almost, right boys? But hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit the bell for notifications, and stay wrenching.